Welcome to Friday, March 6th. You're watching and listening to the Day Weather Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. Well, great weather coming our way. We've been talking about it for the last couple of days, how high pressure was going to build over the Intermountain West. The jet stream is riding high, well up to the north, allowing warm air to come up from the desert states and into the high plains and Rockies. This is a great opportunity through Saturday to travel. If you need to go somewhere, maybe you're going to Las Vegas, maybe you're heading down I-80. I-80 actually will be very, very good today and Saturday. But there's a bit of a change coming Saturday night and Sunday. We'll talk about that in a minute. But here's that temperature forecast. It looks a lot like the one we showed you yesterday. Look at all those 60 and 70 degree temperatures east of the Continental Divide from Montana to New Mexico. West of the Divide, it's not going to be as warm, but still very, very pleasant for this time of year. Even the wind, there'll be a little bit of wind, but not a lot of it. Here's where we're starting to see some changing weather conditions. This is a forecast for Sunday afternoon into Monday. Notice the high pressure ridge breaks down and there's a little system. It doesn't look like much, does it? But there's a little system breaking off from the big storm here that's going to go basically right between I-70 and I-80 Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening and Sunday night. It's going to produce rain, snow showers. Dare I say, there could even be a little bit of thunder. And this is the precipitation forecast with that system coming through. See this little streak right here of moisture? This is basically coming Saturday night, Sunday into early Monday. Across the Wasatch Front of Utah, across I-80. A lot of it is going to be in the form of rain, believe it or not. And this area right here is where there might be a little bit of isolated thunder Sunday afternoon and evening and Sunday night. Notice we start to see some snow coming back into the mountains back here and needed rain and snow coming into California. So the Pacific going to start throwing a little bit of stuff at us. And this is the snow forecast. Notice how that same forecast of precipitation, a lot of it, that green that's on the plains is wet, not white. Now, let's take a look at what's going to happen going forward. This is a forecast for Wednesday. We've got this low coming in off the west coast. We got another low up here. We got another little system up here. We're still, though, in a fairly mild airflow from the Pacific, so really not looking all that bad. But by next Sunday, this is by next Sunday, we were talking earlier this week about how the computer models were really having a difficult time handling the long term. That's still the case. But you're going to notice, if you watched the podcast earlier in the week, the models are starting to get in a little better agreement, not great agreement, but a little better agreement about what's going to happen. This is the European model showing a pretty deep storm over the Pacific Northwest by next Sunday, with another system up behind it and an area of high pressure up in the Aleutians in the Gulf of Alaska. This pattern doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of its structure, but if you look at the Canadian model, it's showing something similar. High pressure in the Aleutians, a deep trough, but more towards the central and northern Rockies. The American model has a storm, but all the way down into Southern California. What is likely going to happen is a hybrid of these three solutions. And this is where we, as meteorologists, have to figure things out. What is the message here is that by next weekend, the days following next weekend, this will take us right around, the time frame of somewhere between March 15th and March 18th and 19th. The western United States is going to be under some type of storm or trough. The trick is going to be figuring out all of the details. So we are expecting that perhaps starting next weekend through the end of March is probably going to be more stormy in the Intermountain West and the Western High Plains. The week ahead, the next 2 days great. The week ahead into next week is a little unsettled. Some showers coming through, but no big storm. But after that, things begin to ramp up. You can see that the Western United States by next weekend is in a much different scenario. Thanks for listening and watching to the Day Weather Podcast. Have a good weekend. Take advantage of the good weather, and we'll talk to you on Monday.